Hello there. I wanted to say a little bit today in video number 6 in our Sex and Abuse series, a little bit about saying no. And this is sort of a touchy subject really for a lot of us who may have needed an awful lot of practice in being able to say no. And today I wanted to speak about sex and abuse and a little bit about saying no. And as human beings, we all have rights, and assertive rights to say no to anything that we're not comfortable with, and anything particularly that we sense is going to be dangerous or detrimental to us. And therefore, under the safe relationship chaining umbrella, as I call it, we have our safe relationship training toolbox. And in our safe relationship training toolbox, we can have a tool which is the ability to say no and to feel comfortable with that, because we have a right to take care of ourselves and take responsibility for our own welfare. And part of that right is having the right to say no. And when we practice saying no to something, say it's someone who is wanting to draw us into a sexual relationship and we haven't known them very long, so we could have just met them, and yet they're pouring on the manipulation and control to such an extent that we're feeling coerced, we're feeling pressure. And peer pressure can be very strong, very powerful, because we may be made to feel old-fashioned or stupid because we're saying, I don't want to have sex with you. And sometimes we fear someone's rejection, and sometimes we compromise ourselves because of that fear of not feeling desirable, that fear of not being seen to be sexy enough or lovable. And that fear can lead us into situations which are detrimental to our welfare, because we don't want to be abandoned and we don't want to be rejected. And to be sexually rejected can feel very, very painful for some of us. And so we often compromise ourselves. Pop along there and have a look at my video on sex and compromise. We often compromise ourselves in order to be accepted. And that can happen in all sorts of areas in our lives as well, not just in the sexual arena. But in the casual scene at the moment, there is potential there for us to be forced even, or manipulated and controlled into a sexual relationship which we may not be comfortable with at all, because we're unable to say no. And I wanted to bring this up in relation to sex today, to help people to keep them safe, to help to have this tool in our safe relationship toolbox. And I like to call the safe relationship training sophisticated safe relationship training, so that we take it up to another level. We upgrade our tools and our abilities so that we then upgrade our relationships and situations in our lives to another level as well. So practice saying no is a really good exercise to do, to feel more comfortable with it in the future, just by saying, I don't feel comfortable doing that at the moment, and feeling really at peace with that, and having that ability, when we practice it over a long period of time, gets much easier. We become more confident in who we are and in our self-love and our ability to do the same in the future and say, no, I'd rather wait until we know one another a little bit better before I go down that road. So as always, stay safe and very happy. Bye-bye.